Hey there, YouTube. Well, this is our very dirty 1997 Harley Electric Glide Classic, and she was brought to me. Apparently, it had been taken apart by somebody else, and tank was very dirty. It looks like it had been. It's you can't really see it right now, but she's just filthy. Hasn't been on the road since 2008, and somebody took it apart to change a fuel pump. Supposedly the fuel pump was bad, and the tank was, I think the tank was left open, and just a bunch of gunk got in there, dirt, God knows what, and so we're here to, I've never personally worked on a fuel injected Harley. Every Harley I've ever worked on has always been carbureted, the older stuff. And so this was a little bit of a learning curve for me too, but figured I'd bring you guys along and just kind of show you a couple things that I found and kind of where things go, and that's that. So bring you here. Alright, well, it did come with the air cleaner off of it and everything, but that's pretty simple to put back together. Of course, I had a bucket of parts that I had to sift through and figure out what they were doing with what. As you can see there's the fuel pump sitting down there on the bottom with a fuel sock on the bottom of it. And there is so you can just see it there is a line that goes to it. Okay. Let me bring you guys around here. It's a little easier to see. And down in there's actually a fuel filter with two lines coming off of it. One of the lines goes to this little port right here, which actually runs down through the tank, down to one of these lines here. There's two lines on the bottom of the tank. The other line runs directly to your fuel pump. Then this little fuel filter arm here. This is not the stock fuel filter. It's just some kind of aftermarket thing, and we just kind of had to make it work. But it's bolted in there to the top, and then of course this little wire here connects. I'll show you guys here. Is your fuel sending unit. This is the unit that tells you, how full your tank is and all that stuff. One wire, which is this wire here, actually goes to your fuel pump. And then the other one, this other connection right here, is where the wire comes from your fuel pump. So slide this guy down in here. Kind of have to wiggle her in like so. And she sits down just like so. Of course, that wire wouldn't be sticking out there. That would be down on the tank. And then there's a couple of wires, three wires here that hook up. These have been laid. Luckily, the nice thing is the guy labeled it, so the one on the left, one on the right, and then the other little guy goes here to the bottom here. There is a gasket here, which I was just waiting for the gasket, so you got to put a cork gasket inside of here. Other than that, there's not much to replacing that, that fuel pump in there. It's all pretty straightforward. Just make sure you remember where all the wires go, label everything, and that's it. But as you can see, she's quite filthy. But we'll bring you back here when we get her up and running. Hey, back again. Well, got the whole bike back together. Tank on it and everything, and one of our fuel lines, which actually screws into the bottom of the tank, was leaking really bad. So had to go. Whoops. Had to go out. There's an O-ring that sits on the top of here. Had to go out and get some new O-rings for it. But also, since we were out there, cleaned out the injectors because we get the bike to turn over. But it would not fire, and I think that it's one or two things. Because that line was leaking, there wasn't enough fuel pressure, or the injectors were clogged. So took the injectors out, which I'll bring you in here real quick. The injectors for this bike are in here, and are these guys here. The pain is that this nut here in the middle. You physically, well, and these little guys, these are where your fuel lines go, and this one here and that one there. And what you have to do, there's a little clip that's on top, and you've got to remove that clip, and these guys they'll slide off. They're a little bit, you got to kind of wiggle them a little bit, but they'll come off. Once you get those guys off, you've got to take out the center bolt, and that'll take this cap off, and then these injectors will come out. And those injectors are a pain in the ass. There's nothing really holding them in. You just got to kind of pry on them and be gentle with them so you don't break them. But once you get that, then you can clean the injectors, and then now the process of putting everything back together. I did have to remove this bolt, this little guy here, to make some room. Plus the horn was right here. Get that stuff out of my way. But other than that, hopefully get all this stuff put back together, and hopefully she'll be a runner. So wish me luck, and I'll bring you back when she is when we come back for hopefully the first start. Well, hi there again. Well, this is the last part of this video. Customer ended up coming and taking the bike a little bit early, so didn't have a chance to film video, an outro for it. But we did replace the fuel lines on the bike, and as soon as it did that, there was plenty of enough fuel pressure. I mean, I did clean out the fuel injectors, plenty enough fuel pressure, and bike fired right up and ran great. That's the beauty of fuel injected bikes. I mean, just like your car, when everything's clean and running the way they should, they fire right up. So I just wanted to give you this little bit here at the end, let you know how it all went, and yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.